The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where you'll find us talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support the needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they are changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today, we're going to start off the show with some folks from Maui Family Support Services. We've got, do you go by Adele?
Adele.
Most often?
Yes.
Okay. And Adele is the Chief Executive Officer. Gosh, hello, I thought I was organized. I'm going to turn it over to Adele to talk about what Maui Family Support Services is.
Thank you, Susie, and thank you for having us again.
Hey, I love having you.
I can't remember when I was here last time. But,
Well, you've been sending staff.
Yes, I have, and that's one of the things that I like to do. It's to promote leadership in our agency and make sure that our supervisors and directors are out there in the community to talk about what Maui Family Support Services provide in our community.
And they do a great job.
Thank you. I am so proud and honored to be working with all of them.
Yep, I bet that's good because they come on and they tell us all about the different programs and the enthusiasm with which they tell the story.
Yes.
You know,
So
like,
I thought,
like the one you brought with you today.
yes,
which
and I have with me today one of the program supervisors, Kavika.
Aloha.
Hi, Kavika. Good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back. Thanks.
Cool. Okay.
So, Susie, I wanted to just remind the community again about the different services that Maui Family Support Services provide. And we are one of the leading agencies on early childhood education. And one of the programs that we provide through that, through in this field is the Early Head Start program. We have two program options for early childhood education, home-based and center-based. So as you know, we have two child development centers under the Early Head Start program, one in Wailuku and one in Lahaina. We are licensed by the state, and we accept children from 6 weeks up to under 4 years old. And this is a comprehensive program providing health, nutrition, preparing the kids for school readiness. We do child developmental screenings. We refer them to our partner agency, Imua Family Services, if we suspect any delays. So that's one of them. And then we provide home visiting also under Early Head Start, and that is home visiting to provide parent-child education, child developmental information to help the parents, in the challenges of parenting. And after you deliver a baby, even if you've read a lot, it's so easy to just get lost in the daily routine of taking care of your baby. So it's good to have someone come to your home and, provide that extra support that you need. The other program that we provide is we have our youth services program. So we have a team that goes to the schools, intermediate and high schools, and we provide life skills, and that helps them in, preventing substance abuse, maybe hopefully preventing them from getting pregnant early, and just teaching them about life skills in preparation to when they become adults. MFSS also have two other home visiting programs. The other one is Healthy Families America, which is funded by the Department of Health through the state and the federal government through the Department of Education. Healthy Families America is like Early Head Start, but we serve the whole county for that. We start servicing the family from prenatal, from when a mom is expecting, up to when they turn 3 and even 5 years old. And we don't just work with the new baby, we work with the entire family, making sure that we engage the entire family in protecting the child from any abuse or neglect. Do you want to add more about the other services, Kavika, maybe fatherhood involvement and the parenting groups?
Sure, thanks. So we, through our program called Connie Connections, and through our program called Connie Connections, we do a men's group, a support group for men, because we believe that men should play an intricate part of the children and the family's lives. We have a men's group every Monday evening at our MFSS building located on Willipah Loop in the Wailuku Mill Yard. And that's a free group for men from 6 to 8 every Monday evening. Tuesday nights, another program we do is called Hui Ohana, which is family group. And again, it's a free service to the community. We welcome all caregivers, men and women, adult parents, or Hanai parents, grandparents maybe raising their children. However, the grant is really to target 29-year-old adults and younger who have children between the ages of newborns to 5 years old. But we really do want to still support the families, even if they are not meeting that criteria. And we also started another program. It's a research project in conjunction with the University of Hawaii at Manoa. And that is a research project sending text messages on a weekly basis to fathers who have children, newborns to 12 years old, teaching them or giving them ideas about parenting, teaching them some parenting tips, along with possible activities that they could do with their children, and then assessing this after 3 months, assessing the program that we've created and our curriculum to maybe go national with this app, app as well, with this app program. One of the benefits of that is that while they get this great information and they help us assess the research project or the effectiveness of this curriculum, they could end up with up to $110 in gift certificates from Walmart that they could use to benefit their families. So that's another exciting program which we just started, and if you'd like more information, you can call our main office.
Can you give us a sample of what one of the tips might be that would show up on there?
A tip might be maybe their child is 4 years old and the father is kind of lost with ideas on what to do. So you might say, when you take a child to the park and you engage with the child, your child will develop this type of skill or connection. It's topics like that.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That it's general, but yet it's specific to age and ideas of how it's really connecting the parent with the child.
Correct.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's
correct.
what it's all about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so often you find people don't know how. What do I do?
Correct.
Like I think we've said before, there's no book that comes with a baby, right?
Yeah, well, we got the book.
Oh,
We've got
have
some
you?
great curriculums. I used to say that. Now my children are all of adult age, 5 children, all adult, now in the grandparent stage. But yeah, we have the book. We have the books.
The books? Yeah, I
the
bet.
books.
Interesting.
We use evidence-based curriculum in all the programs that we have, Susie. So the book that Kavika is talking about is called Nurturing Parenting.
Ah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. That's what we use for most of our programs. And for the men's group, we use a nationally recognized curriculum through fatherhood, the National Fatherhood Initiative. And that's called 24/7 Dad. And I love the title because it is about being a dad, not just by name, but actually being that dad for their children.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's what was it people used to say? Anybody can be a father, but not everybody can be a dad.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Did I say that
that's
right?
pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate. And even if you haven't been an active dad, which is why we do this too, is to re-engage fathers with their children again and become responsible and accountable, but enjoy fatherhood. Yeah.
Right.
And even when they don't live with their child, they can still be engaged with them. And one of the things that I see in the work of Kavika and his team is that they're promoting that you don't have to be living with your child, but you can still be involved with the whole family.
Right.
Correct. Yeah, that's an important thing to understand, the importance of fathering and being there for their children.
Right. No more absentee dad.
That affects being an absentee dad really affects the children in ways that a lot of men don't think about, not realize. So helping them engage is really important.
Right, right. Very good, very good. So, the programs that you have, I always get stuck on this when you're talking about you start at 6 weeks or prenatal or like what, how can you, how does this help, or how does but there's some relationship there that has started and some bonding that's going on even before the baby's born.
Yes. The mother and even the dad, the unborn baby, needs to be prepared, Susie, and they need to be prepared not just physically but emotionally as well. And also having healthy habits while you're pregnant, before you even get pregnant, not drinking, not smoking, those are very important to do so that you can have healthy birth outcome. When your baby comes out, then the baby will be healthy as well.
Right. Now, there's one program that I think that's really always gotten my attention that you folks do, and that's where you actually go to the hospital.
Yes, and thank you for reminding me, because I didn't mention about that. And this team that goes to the hospital, we call them our outreach and resource specialists. So they go to the hospital 7 days a week to screen new parents, and we also go to WIC clinics for the pregnant moms so that we can screen them, and we ask them what their expectations are of their baby, what their support systems are, and if we see that they can use or be able to use some of our resources, then we talk to them about the different programs that we have, and not just MFS's programs, but the community resources as well. And all our services are voluntary. So except for maybe one, which is the Kapu'uvai Ona Keiki, this program, you have to be referred by Child Welfare Services to participate in that program. But all of the programs of Maui Family Support Services, they're voluntary. And so we talk to them about some of the resources that we have, and we encourage them to participate. And so if they're willing, then they get referred to a home visitor or to the Early Child Development Center, or the three programs that Kavika talked about.
Interesting. It's just, I don't know how you guys do it all. How large is your staff?
We have, including on-call staff, about 100.
Wow.
But we are not just on Maui. We have satellite offices, one on Lanai and Molokai. And the other center that I have not mentioned is the Hana Infant Toddler Center. So I don't know if you remember, but I talked about that when we opened it in 2015.
Right.
This is the only licensed center in Hana that accepts 6 weeks old babies up to 3 years old. And this center is housed within the DOE Hanai School. So we prioritize the high school students who have babies, and also the staff of Hanai School. And that allows them to go back to school and go back to work once they deliver the baby. So that's a very unique center in Hana. And we employ staff from the Hana community, and we provide them with professional development. So I'm going to go on, Susie, to mention two other programs, if that's okay.
Sure.
In addition to the home visits, the child development centers, and our support groups, we have two subsidy programs. One of them is called Maui County Early Childhood Resource Center, which we do in partnership with the county. So we provide childcare subsidies for families who are income eligible. And this allows the family to go back to school and go to work. As you know, childcare can be very expensive. A infant toddler care can range from $800 to $1,300, and so that's per month.
Okay.
Per child. And then last year, we got a federal program that helps Hawaiian and part Hawaiian families, which we call Quality Care for Hawaiian Keiki. And this is another subsidy program for Hawaiian and part Hawaiian families that supports them with financial assistance to allow them to enroll their kids to an infant care, a preschool, and even after school hours. And if the child has special needs, we help the family to get care even up to their until 19 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So, and this is really, I've heard so much positive feedback about the quality care for Hawaiian Keiki because of the cost of childcare and preschool and other types of care for the families.
Right. Well, that's a big advantage. Now, that was a sizable grant. How much did you say it was?
It's $1 million per year, and we're towards the end of the first year now, so we have this grant for 3 years, and hopefully after 3 years they will be the DOE will no, not DOE, it's the HHS, through
Okay.
the Office of Child Care. They will renew the grant again.
Wow. Now, you obviously have goals you have to meet and things like that.
Yes.
Okay, we got to take a short break. We'll be right back, and we'll talk about some of those.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our agency executive directors and staff to find out what they are doing in their world to help those with needs in our community. And we're talking today here in the first half of the show with Adele.
Hi, Susie.
Eda Louisa.
Edelweiza, you said it perfectly this time. How about my last name?
Bagaya Lorena.
You did it.
Is that
correct.
close?
Yes, very close.
Woo! I tell you, see, sometimes it just comes out. I mean, I don't even have it written in front of me anywhere, right?
Yes.
I can't believe that. So it's this is a red letter day. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the program that you have, the $1 million grant from DHH.
Yes, through the Office of Child Care.
Childcare. And I remember when the girls, I shouldn't call them girls, the ladies from
Our
that
staff,
your staff were here talking about it, that it seems like a huge number
Yes.
to work with. But I have a feeling that once it got introduced into the Hawaiian community, the response was probably pretty good.
The target, if I remember it correctly, the target number of children that we need to serve is 200 per year. We have exceeded that.
I'll
and
bet.
we have a long list of other families that are still wanting to or needing the assistance. But we have exceeded our numbers for this year. Because it's for Hawaiian and Part Hawaiian families, when we wrote the grant, we wanted to concentrate in communities where there's high number of Hawaiian families. And so we chose the central area, Upcountry, Molokai, Hana, I think those communities. And so then the other communities like Lahaina and Kihei, we were getting pre-screens. And so we went back to the federal government and we asked them, is there a way for us to expand this service? Because we do have Hawaiian Part Hawaiian families who work in Lahaina or who live in Lahaina and Kihei. And so we went to them and we asked them to amend the grant and we were able to get approval.
Very good.
So now we have expanded the services for the quality care for Hawaiian Keiki. So next year, we will not just serve the first communities that I mentioned, but we will also, this year, we will be able to serve families from Lahaina and Kihei as well.
Pretty much the whole Maui Nui.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
incredible. Now, again, as I recall, they can still take their child to any
They-
a preschool or a daily child care facility.
Correct.
And this-
Or they can also choose to have their child be taken care of by a relative, like
uh-huh.
a grandma or an auntie or an uncle or a Hanai family. So they don't need to be licensed. So you can have your child be taken care of by a family member in a licensed setting, family child care homes, or in a center that's also licensed. But we don't limit with the licensed childcare providers. We can also provide assistance to families who choose to have their child taken care of by a family member.
That's great. That's. I mean, that helps in several ways.
Yes, because our license centers sometimes they're already maxed out. They've
Right.
reached their capacity, and so where do you take your child?
Right. So it helps to bring some income to that family member for providing the service.
That's correct.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Now I know you've got a big event coming up, and we got to talk about that before we lose track of time here.
Thank you, Susie. So Maui Family Support Services will be holding the Stand for Children celebration for 22 years now, and it will be held on September 9th, that's a Saturday, at the Queen Kahumanu Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And so this is a free community event with child-friendly activities and crafts. We invited our community partners to join us, and so we have some agencies who are joining us already at that event. We will have live entertainment, and our business partners are giving us some donations for the prizes and the giveaways as well. So please come out, bring your keiki, and they will be able to also get some prizes as they go around the tables and get some information about family resources. Then they can also be eligible to enter for a prize.
Cool. Should be quite a day. Now, this is a 22nd annual, so this has been successful.
It is. And so now this one started through a national Stand for Children campaign that started in 1995 in Washington, D.C. for groups, advocates for childcare, schools, and other essential programs that give children a fair chance in life. So we do this, Susie, in line with our mission, which is to promote healthy family functioning by providing supportive services which build on family strengths. And our prime directive is to prevent child abuse and neglect. So we're partnering with the other agencies in our community to bring the awareness about the importance of protecting our children.
Right. And that, as I understand, is still a growing concern.
It is a growing concern. The last time I checked, every I don't want to say a number, but there's still a lot of incidences of abuse and neglect, and I think it's because of the lack of awareness and the misexpectations of what a baby can do or cannot do, and also because of the stress that families face in bringing up children.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it happens more often in larger families. It can happen with a family of one or two children.
It can happen to anyone. That's why we need to provide support. That's what the services are for Maui Family Support Services. We need to go out there. We need to reach out. And families need to know which resources to go to. Sometimes it can just be a friend or a neighbor, like asking you, do you need help? Do you need a timeout? Instead of giving the kids timeout, the parents take time out to relieve their stress.
Right. Wow. I agree with you, David. That's a lot. And it's so worthwhile, and it's so needed. I mean, that's why you folks are growing like you are with these new grants and so forth to help all the keiki out there. And primarily that's your service.
Yes.
Is the youth.
Yes. The
And-
youth, the children, and the entire family.
Right. So, any last words? We're just about out of time.
Can
already.
I just plug in something?
Sure.
We just started a new partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Maui. We're collecting donations every day. Drop-off location can be at our office at 1844 Willie Paw Loop, and we are accepting reusable clothing for adults and children, toys, books, small household items, and we're doing this to also protect our INA because we see our landfill getting filled with stuff every day, and we're partnering with Big Brothers and Big Sisters to collect these donations, and this is our way of bringing some unrestricted funds to support both programs, both agencies, I should say, Maui Family Support Services, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and by having this allow us to build, to not just rely on government funding, but also to have our own funding to make sure that continuity of services is ensured by our agency.
That's great. That's great. And you're right when you say you see things going into the dump that shouldn't be going there, just because some people don't know any place else to go with it. But
Right.
Your partnership with Big Brothers Big Sisters. Now, if they want more information, they can call you all at
242-0900, or they can go to our website at www.mfss.org.
That's great. Thank you so very much. I don't know how you do it all.
We do it with dedicated staff and support of our board and our volunteers, and so it's been an honor to be working with other community partners as well to make sure that the needs of our communities are met.
And you've been there quite a while.
I've been there for 16 years.
16 years.
Yes.
And how many years as CEO? Are we at 4?
2014, officially
3.
March 2015. So
Okay.
just finished my second year.
Second year officially. But sounds like things are just rolling right along.
Yes, Sissy, with the support of our staff, again, our committed staff, our hardworking staff, they go out there, they really have, the passion for working with the children and the families. And we're very honored to be doing that.
And that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Wonderful. Kavika, anything you want to add?
I think if anybody's listening that may be struggling or maybe knowing of a family that is struggling, whether it's on a high level of stress or just wanting to learn to do things different, we've got a lot of programs that can help support families with new ideas or ways that they can help raise the children much better in this time that we're living in. Resorting to like old ways, or my family always did it this way. There could be other ways to raise children and get support. So just give us a call and find out more about what we do. 242-0900, and we'd be happy to talk with you.
And if by some strange chance it's something you don't do, you know who does.
Sure, we can refer
them to
family
the right place.
To the right place, correct.
Right. Fabulous. Thank you both for being here and telling the community, reminding them about what you do. And coming up, as you said, at the event on the 9th at Queen Kahumanu Center, come and bring your child and take a look around and see what is being offered. Child-friendly activities and crafts, interactive games and prizes, live entertainment, and community resource information tables. Says it all.
Thank you,
Sounds good.
Susie,
Thank
and
you so
thank you,
much,
everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. We appreciate your joining us and sharing with everyone. Aloha.
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 And our second half of our show, boy, this is really totally different. This is one of those shows where we go from one extreme to the other, kind of, because we've got David Daly here with us, who is the director for MEO's Business Development Center. And we're going to talk about how people can strengthen their knowledge and grow their businesses. So we go from the prenatal services to being in business and growing it to success.
That's right.
That's right.
I
Is
look
that all you got to
forward to
say? That's right.
I'm out of breath. These guys took it all out of me. I'm just trying to comprehend right now.
David, you've got one of my favorite programs going on over there with the Core 4 business planning classes,
Yep.
and going strong.
Going strong. We just graduated 20 last week, and we got another class coming up in beginning of September. So Rust never sleeps.
That's
We
true.
just keep going.
That's true. I got one question for you, though. Classes are from 6 to 9 at night,
Correct.
2 nights a week for 6 weeks.
Correct.
And then you have graduation at noon.
Yep.
How's that working out?
Well, it's ongoing. We're trying to be flexible to both our bankers who participate in supporting our program, as well as other partners that are involved, and as well as the students themselves, so that they can get something out of it. So we're nothing's set in stone.
Gotcha.
But we've been doing luncheons. It seems to be working out well. August is always a difficult time. Seems like a lot of people are on vacation, so
Right.
evening or daytime.
Neither time's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that and I said, wait a minute, that used to be for the classes that were held in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see that every graduation for this year was scheduled at noon, and I think, they may have a point there.
Yeah. No, last year we started out last year, and the participation and support was there. The students, they're given enough in lead time to be able to work that within their day and their schedule, so it's worked out well.
And I can see where sometimes the evening, what was it we used to do at the same, basically 6 to 9 with dinner,
Yeah.
can sometimes be a real problem for a family, especially if the couple is coming.
Yeah.
What do we do with the kids? That's one time we don't
Yeah.
have something for them.
And it's not always it's usually a longer procedure in the evening. For whatever reason, people want to talk story a little longer. They don't need to get anywhere.
Right.
So it's usually a longer ceremony and graduation. But, the main goal is that the students receive their certificates. They get the acknowledgement of having gone through these 8 weeks of instruction, and that the support and our partners with the bankers and the other agencies are there to let them know that it doesn't end here.
Right.
So,
And the feedback now, are they still, are they still presenting their business plans?
they are.
They are.
They are.
And so the feedback they get is one of the highlights I've always seen of that event.
For both sides, actually. And not only for the students who, they get another set of eyes looking at what they've been doing, what they've been working on for, 6 weeks or longer
Right.
for a lot of them. But also it really inspires the local bankers, because they don't really get to see the grassroots individuals coming to their door. So it's almost a two-way street. They get a little boost out of it as well.
Gotcha.
So
Have from your perspective, have the banks kind of loosened up a little bit and are more willing to talk to smaller businesses like this?
yes and no.
Yes and no.
It depends on the bank. It depends on what's going on. But overall, for smaller amounts of money, most people will do, anything. Any type of business or commercial banking is usually on a larger loan amount.
Yeah.
So, it's sort of a little bit of by hook or by crook to finance a smaller business.
I didn't hear you say that. But that's where you come in, because you can finance those.
Yep. We do micro lending. We do it up to $50,000 for any type of business, startup, existing business in need. That really our goal is to help this business survive and grow. So with that in mind, the money can be put towards a number of different areas, as long as there's something at the end that's going to put this business in a better position.
Right.
So it's that program has been going on, I believe, for close to 20 years now, and we've got a portfolio of small businesses that perform very well. Local businesses, they're only Maui County, I should say, because we do Lanai and Molokai as well. So it's very easy to service and help these businesses that are part of our portfolio if things are not going as planned, or if they need help in certain areas. So
Right. That's great. Last week, one night, you had the folks from the Native Hawaiian Revolving Loan Fund over. Rebecca Soon, I think, was the spokesperson. And she did a presentation, and then she opened it up to you and probably was there somebody else there?
Peter
Hano. Yeah.
From the
Hano.
I
can never remember the name of the organization.
Yes, Peter was there, and then Wayne Wong, who's another partner from the Small Business Development Center, was able to let them know that there are resources available to them, both in business and also, outside of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was really good. Well, I thought Rebecca did a great job.
Yeah, that was very interesting from the standpoint that you did have a nice turnout, and people were as I noticed, they were all into their credit scores.
Yeah.
Which is always the key component. We've got to take a short break, but we're going to come right back and talk about credit scores for just a minute.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our Maui Nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out what's happening in their world. As we know, each agency kind of handles different types of activities. Some are strictly social needs or physical needs. An organization like MEO covers quite a territory when it comes to their various departments. And so we've got with us David Daly, who's the director of the MEO Business Development Center. And before the break, we're just getting into the idea of credit scores. And, it's interesting to me, because we do credit score stuff and so on for the houses we sell. And I always think that I've heard it all, and then somebody else walks in the door and it's like, what? And I guess because I've been doing this so long, I just don't see how they can equate what they're saying with what's reality. It's like, well, I've got a lot of money in the bank. I don't need a credit score. Well, yeah, if you're going to pay cash for everything, I guess you're okay. But you're not going to do that buying a house. And having money in the bank does not get you a mortgage.
Exactly.
And you're from mortgage banking.
Mm-hmm.
And you must have had people who came in and didn't understand the difference.
Not that many.
Okay.
But, I think the overall mystique, unknowns of those 3 digits, right? Because that's really what we're talking about.
Right.
And I try and impress upon everyone, going into business, just in life in general, is that unfortunately we're judged on those 3 numbers. And we want that to match up with who we are. And that's really the biggest thing. So, just letting people know what is entailed in the score, how it works, why it moves one direction or another. And that's a lot of what we did, and a lot of what the other evening was about with the OHA Malama loan, is because it is a credit-driven program that there is a set number that you have to be to qualify. So
right.
when there are situations like that, helping people identify what their score is, how to get it, what moves it one way or the other, and not to be afraid. That's the other side is the fear factor of, I don't want to ever look. Have you pulled your credit report? No, I don't want to know. But yet I want to buy this, or I need a loan for this. So it's an imperfect science. It's constantly moving. It will constantly move as we as a nation and our buying habits and how we go about what we do. So it's always nice to be able to impart some knowledge.
Yeah. I think that I've never heard the last story, I guess, is where I'm at right now. You know, there's another story out there, and it's coming. Yesterday, one of my favorite things to do is when somebody's talking about we start talking about credit is, do you have any idea what your credit is? Oh yeah, that's not going to be any problem. And I said, well, do you know what the score is? Well, last time I looked, it was like 880 or something, and I'm going, it doesn't go that high. Luckily I didn't say that out loud. I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't go that high. What is this person looking at that's 880, and I never did get an answer to that without, but I wasn't going to come out and flat out say to them,
Right.
Come on, be real. But you live in your own little world, I guess, sometimes, and you think I'm all set. And if you're comfortable and you've got access to what maybe just a little bit of credit is all you want, like your Costco card, so you can get gas a little cheaper than someplace else. What does credit mean to you? And for many people, buying a house is never going to happen, so they don't care the big picture.
Right.
And they know that if they decide to buy that super expensive truck, they're probably going to get a loan regardless of what the score is, because there's always somebody out there ready to finance it. Mm-hmm. And and that scares me to death.
Yeah. Well, it's the, credit can make our lives much easier, or it can make our lives much more difficult.
Miserable is the word
yeah.
for some people.
And it's funny because some people are really deathly afraid of it and don't want to have anything to do with it, even if it would benefit them in one way or another. So just sort of demystifying and letting people know, that this is another tool. So you don't go around with a hammer bashing everything that you need to put nails into a wall. There's a specific use for that tool, and credit is the same thing.
Right.
And the more education that we deal with, obviously people are coming in for business lending, but there's a perfect example of that. This is now a tool for them to be able to reach their goal. And anytime that you have someone who is unable to, or has put up a little bit of a roadblock due to some misuse of credit, potentially they're not able to reach that goal. And to us, that's a big deal. That's
Right.
something that I try and change.
And I think, too, that one of the things that always astounds me is when you work with somebody and you give them some tools to work with to try to improve their credit score, the impulse is to step back and say, oh, do I really need to do that? Can I live without it? And it's like, it's not hard. You just have to be persistent.
Right.
In talking to either the creditor or the credit bureau or whoever it is that has that issue that you need to fix. Mm-hmm. And there are some rules and regulations which make it much easier if you know them.
Correct.
But in a business, so often people think, well, the business is doing well. Why is that an issue? Why is my credit important? Well, because you're going to be getting the loan based on your credit.
Right,
your business
right.
can be doing fantastic. But if your credit is awful,
You're personally guaranteeing that loan.
Right.
And 99.9% of small businesses are all personally guaranteed,
right?
pretty much up into probably a $500,000 range. And that's another sort of misconception is people go, well, my business can apply for the credit. My corporation, I want to get corporate credit. and letting them know that that's probably not going to happen for them, and here's the reasons why that works and how that comes about. But for the most part, we are personally guaranteeing every loan that we take out. Anytime that we sign our names, we're personally guaranteeing that loan.
Even down to you get these offers in the mail from credit card companies that say, as owner of this business, where you're pre-qualified for this
Right.
credit card, and the fine print is you're also guaranteeing it,
Yep.
kind of thing.
Yep.
And that came about because there was a lot of abuse of those
Mm-hmm.
kinds of cards back a few years ago.
I think that, the liquidity in the market, there's ebbs and flows. Anytime that you have a for-profit entity, they're going to push the boundaries as they all do. And that's where having the ammunition to know what you can and cannot do and be able to understand the ins and outs of it a little bit is key, especially for someone who's looking at any type of lending for a business.
Right. So now to get to the subject that we were going to discuss today,
Please.
we kind of got off on a tangent here. But you've got this new program called Be Strategic, Grow Your Business.
Yep. It's a new program for us. It's been around for, I would say, 10 years in the mainland, and we actually had a lady came out who actually wrote the original program and set it up for entrepreneurs on the mainland, and she came out and trained us in it. And really what it is it's for businesses that are in the business and have been not reaching their potential, just sort of they're okay, but they're not, nothing really great is happening. Either they've realized they're not reaching their potential, or they just think they could do better. So this is really geared towards existing businesses that are in that position, and it gives them tools and networking ability within the course structure that allow them to sort of take an inside look at what their business does from the inside out, peer-based. So you have other business owners actually part of this group that start together, which are 6 to 8 businesses, and they work together to look at one another's business and what's going on. And that is very, very important, because the individual business owner, when they're all in the same boat, have a much better sense and a keen eye for things that are going on that could be areas of concern, could be areas of opportunity, that an outside entity would go, yeah, you might want to look at this. So it's a really, really unique program. The growth and being able to organically grow it for us is a challenge just to get the word out.
Right. And some people say that people have a fear of success. Do you run into that in the small business world, that as you see it, they kind of get to a certain point and it's like, we're just going to stay right here. This is comfortable.
Yeah. There is a comfort level.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's that, we're fighting that as well as the individual who really realizes that there's more out there, but really doesn't have the resource or wherewithal to take a look at it, or even in the position of, I'm okay, but I'm really not looking outside of my business. Yeah. I'm in my business. I work it 7 days a week, 5 days a week, 80 hours and more, to be able to take a look outside and have someone sort of assess what you're doing. Something as simple as what your logo looks like, what your colors are, who your market is. They may have started 5-6 years ago in one completely different area than they are now, but they're not really geared towards growth in that particular area or to that customer base. So, it's little things like that, it's sort of like just keeping the car on the road rather than kind of going off the side of the road into the dirt.
Gotcha. Well, I think one of the things too that you see a lot of people do is like, I'm afraid to invest more into it for fear I won't get any more out of it. And right now I've got a stream of income that satisfies us. But the old adage still holds that if you're not growing, you're losing.
Right. You're dying. If you're not growing, you are dying.
I mean, if your sales dollars are the same year after year after year, your costs are increasing. There's nothing you can do about most of that.
Nothing. And it doesn't get any easier.
Yeah.
And that's there's someone new, a new business that's going to enter the market somewhere, somehow that's going to affect you. So just that adage of you say, if you are not growing, that's exactly right. And it is easy to become complacent in your business. And that's what we're trying to get this out to people, to say there is a resource that's available for small business owners to be able to come and network and find this information out.
And I think, too, the idea of looking at other people's businesses. I mean, we can always find the flaw in the other company. Our own, we're okay.
Exactly.
But now you're going to be in a group where you're finding their flaws, they're finding your flaws, and all of a sudden that light bulb goes off. Wait a minute, you're right. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
Or, no, that hasn't happened in a long time.
Why?
Yeah.
That's if you just took that one word and went, why?
Yeah.
Why are you okay right now? Why is this not working?
Right.
Just asking that question becomes a very large situation, and it usually ends up bringing something out, which is a good thing.
I think that, at first when you proposed this, I'm thinking, I don't know if I'd want to sit with other business people and expose my flaws. But it's all for good. And what you've done wrong, somebody else is probably doing wrong, and they haven't realized it yet.
Right. And
anyway, I wish we had more time. We're going to get you back. Be strategic, grow your business. Give David a call at 249-2990 and talk story with him. And you'll start a program as soon as you have enough companies ready to go.
We're looking at the number is 6. So right now we've got a handful, just looking for a couple more, and we'll get it going.
Cool. Very good. Thanks, David. Sorry I took you off track with the credit, but
that's all right.
It's always an issue. It's always an issue. Anyway, Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. The Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's purpose is to provide an opportunity for nonprofit agency directors to gain personal and professional support through cooperative development activities. Mnpd also provides an opportunity for networking to affect significant positive change in the community. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies. And don't forget, today we visited with Maui Family Support Services and talked about their programs. We visited with MEO's Business Development Center and got an update on what they're doing. We want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to join us again next week, same time, same place, when we'll feature 2 more agencies of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. Until then, I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. We want to thank you for joining us. Have a great week, everyone. Aloha.